This is my current view. A little bit of fog. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous day today. Whew. Look at that. Oh man, it's just too bright to look at. Gotta go find a shady spot to live in. A shady spot, I say. Look at Rue. It's fantastic with that backlight coming through. Whew. It is a beautiful morning here, which is... Zeus is excited. He likes being out on a day like this. We're supposed to get snow starting tonight, I think. So it's getting colder. So we got this fog, this low-lying cloud that's sort of come in. Everywhere else it's just blue sky. Look at it way over there. Yep, blue, gorgeous. This little patch of fog. It's sun comes streaming through those trees. And Gracie, like she's just lit up from up high. Sunbeams coming down on her. What a morning! Let's do horsey check. I love doing horsey check on beautiful mornings. Beautiful mornings are my favorite. It's going to be raining, snowing, precipitation essentially. Depending on how cold it is, it could be the sticky stuff or just the right. Who left that out? So, I gave them lots of food. Nina's doing well. Hello, Gracie. Look at you. Oh, she says, keep trucking, Zeus. That's the thumbnail for sure for today. Look at that. What's going on there, good looking? You got a little bit of sand on your face. There we go. All better. You got your gorgeous mane coming down here nicely. Hey, I know. The other side, no problem. What? What? Yes, you're a good horsey. Come here, give me your face. Good girl. Good girl. But Zeus is in your paddock. What are you going to do about that? Yeah. Look at how good she's getting. Look at that. Look at that. Very, very proud of her for her... Man, that sun is bright. For her progress in being... Whoop. So good with... Oh. I'll be back. Being, you know, comfortable with touching top of her head now and scratching. It's taken a little bit of time, but you know, when it passes, generally just kind of passes. It'll come back here and there, but for the most part, it's good. Peggy's good. Lots of poops, Peggy. Hey. Still got food left, that's good. That's very good. We definitely want to see that. Lots of water left, that's good. Let's go check out these characters in the back. Sharing ever so nicely. Love those two. And Luke. How's it going there, big guy? Look up. Water comes in. That's not pee. In case anybody's wondering, it's just kind of dirty water, but it's water because this water here comes in. There's a pipe in here and it goes all the way. Anyways, too much water in the land. What are you gonna do? Yeah, gotta clean up, but man, this just looks nice. Love this fogginess, that atmospheric sort of content, atmospheric sort of fill. It's nice. Beautiful morning. Okay, today I want to prove my hypothesis wrong. A lot of discussion about Rue and Luke, which is great discussion. I love discussion. Don't get me wrong. I have an opinion based on my observations, and I also have an opinion about horse play in general and what horse observation stuff is actually about in comparison to what I think some other people think it is. So I'll talk about that a little later. Yes, there, little one. You'll be going out very quickly here. So we're going to set up same location. And oh, see, look, this one. This one actually has a little bit of, a little tiny bit of ice. Yeah, just a little bit. How interesting is that? The other ones didn't. Anyways, we're gonna set up over here. We're gonna put Rue out, no boys. Let's do it. Hey, buddy. Typical Gracie, no respect for the rolling lie down. Alright, camera's still good. Okay, that's two. Let's go get Peggy. Okay, I'm gonna leave Ruly out for now because she's eating for one, and two, I don't think we need her for this experiment. And I guess I'll leave this lens on because we're probably good enough for now. Could put on a longer lens because this is as close as I can zoom in. Anyways, let's watch this for a minute. So, we're on horsey behavior watch with the girls, but no boys. And it's important we also watch the boys at the back. We have to watch the boys at the back too to see how they react. And what's happening here with these three. It's quite peaceful so far, other than Gracie being just a typical Gracie. like watching a cat, you know, when somebody shoots a laser, says, oh, you know, like what happened? What seems to be the problem? So Piggy's drinking water. We're thinking about it, I guess. And then those three or two. Lena's off to the side, getting a little bit of sun, I suppose. There comes Peggy. Very quiet. Rue's leaving. Lena's telling Gracie to leave her barrel alone. She happened to have owned it at that time, unbeknownst to Gracie. She's like, what do you mean you own it? It's just sitting here. Rue gets his own barrel to play with. So, my hypothesis on this, and I posted this in a comment this morning earlier, was that if I put out Rue with the girls, because we know that Ruly definitely doesn't like him. She actively chases him off, so that's a for sure. We know that for sure. So, Ruly also does not influence the other horses much, so we can sort of relatively take it out of the equation. Take her out of the equation. Plus, she's eating. Let her eat. Rue's going down for his fourth roll, it appears. Third? I don't know. Gracie's up. I'm trying to keep everybody in the frame here. And I'm out here on the I don't know what this is, the seating area, to keep my influence at a bare minimum. And that's as far as I can zoom. Alright. So my hypothesis was that the girls would just be alone near the back waiting for the boys to come out. The boys would be paying attention to what's going on, wanting to be out. And Rue would kind of be on his own. That was my hypothesis on what would happen overall. So we'll just see how this goes. We're at 10 minutes or so, well, minus putting the horses out. So you can see Luke's in the corner. He'd like to come out. Roni's also looking. He's not eating. He'd like to come out. Now, of course, there is the classical conditioning of whether or not they're there because they're used to coming out when everybody's out, which is important to consider as well. My hypothesis also included that the girls would be at the back, even closer to the boys, waiting for them to come out. Again, maybe classical conditioning, but maybe straight horse behaviors. Lena is drinking from the puddle, which never goes away. Rue is slowly making his way over there. And nobody's chased him off just yet. But I suspect that Peggy will. We'll see what happens. It's interesting. It's interesting. Lena doesn't care enough yet. And of course Gracie's just following along. But what a beautiful day to do this anyways. Look at that. Let's get that shot. That might be my thumbnail. Man, every shot today is just gorgeous. I want to switch out to the other lens because they're all at the back. Fighting over the water hole. Lena's definitely above Peggy though. She won't stand or tolerate that for too much longer if she doesn't have to. Grace is at the bottom for sure. So let's see what happens. Let's see if Rue can make some friends with the girls without the boys in there. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love for my hypothesis to be wrong. I'd like to be wrong. I'd like to see something different than what I expect. And I think too also that if over the long term I didn't have any boys here and I just had the girls, then yeah, absolutely, I think Rue would end up sort of coming in and being able to stay in. He might even cut out one of the girls to have on his own, sort of like Roni does with Lena. And interestingly enough, Roni has given up and gone back to eating. Luke is waiting to come out for sure. So we wait. It's quiet, other than the neighbor's dog barking away. Two dogs actually. You might not be able to hear it because it's sideways to the camera. This particular microphone picks up a little bit from behind, mostly from front, and very little from the sides. Now here comes Roni. So, look at the curls. I gotta switch out the lens. I just feel like I really want to, so you can get a closer look from way back here. So I should be able to do it pretty quick. So let's take a pause there. And we're back. So nothing really happened. Peggy sort of wandered out and Rue wandered off. But now we can get in a little bit closer to the back because they're all at the back. Long ways away. Quiet. A lot of quiet. Now Rue is definitely talking quite a bit. Don't get me wrong, I mean he's not silent throughout this whole process, just standing around. He is trying. He's not at this end of the arena. He is constantly kind of looking over. Look at Peggy's ears. Say, Lena, don't touch me. Wait, scratch me there. No. Back further. Ooh, look at that. Oh, geez. The quiet words of the mares. And Rue has to accommodate here. He has to figure out how to get in a little bit. Just gonna adjust there. It's better frame. He has to figure out how to get in, but he's not. There's no luck there. It's just no interest. So he's alone. What are the boys doing? They're just walking a little bit. Has Luke gone back to eat? Roni's going back to eat maybe? Oh, that's good. But everybody's very quiet. So it's interesting. Oh, Peggy's coming in for scratches. So give him or get him, I'm not sure. Statue time. Everybody's a statue. We got horsey statues. So as you can see, definitely quieter. Rue's in the same position that I think he would be in if the boys weren't, if Luke wasn't playing with him and Roni wasn't asking him to go out a little further. Even when Roni does ask him, Rue just sort of turns his butt anyways. Roni makes his drive-bys and that's that. So we're sort of in the same sort of position. He's still not on the in. So then the question is this determined because the girls don't want him in, or the boys don't want him in, or the girls don't want him in because the boys don't want him in, or the boys don't want him in because the girls don't want him in, or if it's just lead horse says no so everybody else says no. The lucky thing is we have a lot of other horse behavior videos to draw from. What's Lena doing? She's making a move somewhere. Rue says, okay, I'm going to change my angle as well. Piggy's not looking overly happy about Lena not being in the way anymore. Oh. Piggy's talking for sure. Rue's kind of looked away a little bit. And Lena's going down for a roll. Says, I love this soft sand in the back here. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect sand. And she's over $1,000. When it rains, all the sand goes to the back corner there. I got to dig it back up and drag it back to the top kind of thing. So it's thick and soft. Even Gracie's quiet now, you see? Everybody's quiet. Piggy's leaving. It's peaceful. It's definitely more peaceful. It's interesting to see the boys have stopped, so my hypothesis was incorrect for the long term, correct for the short term. It's good to see they've calmed down. I don't have to really be concerned about them stressing out. So if it's Piggy, she's gonna get up and jump around. Nope. But they are all at the other end of the, I can't even zoom out enough, but you know, there's a lot of arena here and they're all at that back corner just being statues. I did think that the girls would chase him off a little bit more than they are, so that's a little bit interesting to see as well. Oh, Gracie says go away. Piggy's moving in. So I've had enough of you, weird cow. We've already got one cow in the herd. Sun's coming through a little nicer. It looks good. It's a beautiful day. It's back to playing with the barrel. Horses love barrels. I keep meaning to buy more barrels, because once in a while they'll kind of go on sale on Craigslist and you just buy them for 30 bucks or something. I can't remember what they cost. Oh, Rue's making a beeline around the back. Lena says, go away. Her ears yelling at him a little. Oh, he's trying to make a move from the back. Is he going to make it? Nah. I had another idea that whether or not Rue would want to stay sort of in the back corner where Luke was, because that's where his buddy is. It may not seem like they're buddies, but they're kind of buddies. The barrel play is fun. Somebody had commented they're playing spin the barrel. Yeah. Oh, here comes Lena. And Rue's drawn in. Let's see what happens here. Just the girls. Lena's still looking for scratches. She's still like a little co-grooming to go on, but Piggy's not interested. She says, go talk to Luke. He's the level 5 massage horse. So let's see a little bit more. I shuffled. Piggy's looking up. Again, I'm trying to be as small of an influence as I can back here. Just standing quietly with my tripod, but they're all staring at me. Well, at least Gracie is now. Oh, something over in the neighbor's place? I don't see anything. But they do. They hear something. So, a lot of standing around, a lot of doing nothing. Rue's on the outs. He's not welcome in the... Well, he hasn't got himself a girl. And Gracie's not interested in going over. Which I actually was wrong on. I thought that Gracie would probably go over. Would probably go hang around with him or check him out or something. But she doesn't seem to have any interest in that. And the boys... eating peacefully. So that's good. Well, there go Piggy and Lena again. Give it another try. This won't last, I don't think, but who knows. Yeah, see, a little scritchy scratch, socializing going on. That's good. Gracie's the third wheel. She says, well, I'll get the barrel to myself. Is that she gonna... She bumps it into Peggy. She's like, what the... I'm busy right now. Wrong angle. Make a change. Other side. That was another question I always have. Who decides when the direction changes? Peggy decide? Was it mutual or did Lena? Now we know where Piggy's mane goes sometimes. So that's it. That's the deal. Bruce stands by himself. The girls co-groom. And Gracie's just whatever she's doing. Waiting patiently for her turn to have somebody be social with her. So we know what happens when we put Roni out. If we put Roni out, he'll chase off Rue and then just go hang out with Lena. And Luke, of course, is Mr. Playful, or whatever we want to categorize it as. Rue in the background is generally just sort of standing his ground a little bit, trying not to be too, I don't know, obvious, or just quietly hanging out. Oh, he's going to give it a try. Oh, Lena's looking over. Nope, not yet. She's got her ears back. She's talking to somebody. Peggy, maybe. Yeah, so she asked for this switch on the side, I think. I think that was Lena asking. So Lena wants to scratch on her left side. Oh, swish of the tail and she's off. I can just see Rue looking over, waiting patiently. Anybody want to hang out with me? Lena says, no sharesies on the barrel. Oh. Get her, Lena. Bite her in the shoulder. Gracie's like a ninja. Lena is not, so if it comes down to it. A nice, peaceful, quiet morning. Lena, I don't know what she's looking at. I'm not moving. I mean, Zeus is behind me, but that's about it. Well, I don't think anything's really going to happen. We're at a standstill. So, I think I'm going to end that here for now. Get on with some stuff I've got to get doing. Hopefully that has been interesting for everybody. I think in my mind there's a few ways to look at this. It's peaceful, so it's kind of nice to see. There is socialization happening for sure, but I don't know if it's beneficial to the whole herd completely, meaning that, you know, we've left out a few horses to see how a few horses would do together. They're fine. It's expected that they'd be mostly fine. But I still do think that this is two herds that we're looking at. And then there's a third over there. So now I've got three herds. I don't think Rue is part of a herd. I think that when Luke is in here, we're looking at two herds. Luke and him sometimes, and then the others sort of mill around together, and Luke goes in between the two. I think in many cases Luke is sort of a bridger of the gaps, and the behaviors that we are trying to observe are not just in the moment behaviors. We're looking for long term. We're looking for how can these horses be good socializers over time, like Gracie, who in the beginning was just a wreck. But if I didn't keep putting her out and putting her out and putting her out and putting her out every time, this would never have happened. And they all have to get along sooner or later. And if you don't keep trying, keep having them communicate together as a herd, as the dynamic herd that they are, with the hierarchy that they have, then it never resolves. And we've definitely seen in other horse behavior videos in the past how some horses definitely need to not be in at the same time. They have been shown to be quite worried or under attack of some sorts, that by all good judgment says remove either the aggressor or remove the one that's the victim. So we've seen lots of that, and it's hard to get those ones worked out. Those ones are really hard. The ones that don't even want to try, you can tell. And many people had concerns about Sky. We also had a horse named Sundance here that had the same sort of problem, where he wasn't even trying to be part of the herd. I think we've had a couple of girls, and really also had a little bit of trouble in the beginning, and she would just be off on her own. Everybody said they felt so sorry for Ruli because she was on her own and she was in the corner, or she was doing nothing, or she wasn't trying. But over time, she's now actively trying to stay with everybody and actively protecting the herd, because she's also telling Rue to take off, and then she goes back to the herd. So we have to observe these horse behaviors over long periods of time, and determine, obviously, we obviously have to determine. There's Rue trying to draw Gracie, I believe. My hypothesis is that he's trying to draw Gracie out. She says, nope, I'm good with the girls. So we'll see what Rue does here. And so I don't know how long Rue's going to be here for, but he's here. And as far as I'm concerned, he's part of the herd. That's one of the reasons I do liberty work with all of the horses when I can, because I want them to herd up. I'm trying to teach them a little bit that to break from the herd is unacceptable as the herd leader myself, and that's speaking sort of, you know, as a human trying to be the leader of the herd, that I would say to him, no, back with the herd, you get in here, you belong here. And the other horses can see that as well, and I think over time that has a positive effect on the one that's sort of been out, and the other ones, it has a positive effect, I believe, because they have to accept that horse in. So there's a lot of dynamics in play here, and in my mind also, the last thing I'll sort of monologue on about is, what are these horse behavior videos for? And I've always wanted them to be sort of a teacher of understanding horses, both through what appears to be good and appears to be bad. Gracie's she's really loving that barrel. Peggy says, I'll play, let's spin it. And so when we sort of put our human emotions into what we think they're feeling and whatnot, even myself included, it's subjective. There's some objective stuff. Is Rue getting hurt? Did other horses get hurt? Or is there enough aggression that fences are being broken? Which has happened. I've replaced a few panels here because of that. So over time we can make a lot of observations that become objective, a bunch of subjective ones that we can take as evidence to become more objective. And what we're really working on is essentially what the last video was titled: how can our horsemanship get better? How can we get better? The question always is if Luke can do that to Rue, can you do that to Rue? Can I do that to Rue? Can I do what Luke does to Rue? Can I do it to Luke? Do I have that effect? Can I have that effect? If I can't, why can't I? If I can, how can I? How effective is it? How quick do I need to be? How much do I need to communicate? Gracie, where's the champagne? There's champagne in here before. It's empty now. She's got a higher voice, hasn't she? I don't know. And so these horse behavior videos are what is happening here? Funny stuff, eh? What is she thinking? She want to tip it back up? She's like, how do I get this thing back up? Peggy. Dig, dig, dig. There she goes. So we want to learn how horses behave, because there's plenty of places and plenty of people that get very worried about some behaviors that look off, and they might limit that. And so luckily I've been given, you know, the grace of the owners to lay good judgment and about socializing their horses and documenting it too. In fact, how do they do this? Here comes Rue again. He's trying again. You know, and everything counts, everything matters, all the stuff they do. If you needed to approach these three girls and they didn't like you, how would you do it? Would you do it like Rue? Would you approach slowly? That's why we watch these, or well, that's why I make these. Not sure why. I wouldn't say I know why people watch them, but that's why I make these videos. For myself, But for everybody who's interested in really truly understanding all aspects of horse behavior, and to try to remove the human interaction when possible, and sometimes add it in, because we need to have an influence on them. They are domesticated. We can't just leave ourselves out and pretend that, you know, we can just watch them or just have them behave on their own. But to interfere in the social hierarchy is impossible, in my opinion, unless you micromanage them all the time. So there's plenty of times you got to let them work it out. Let them build, let them destroy, let them build back up their relationships, things like that. It's the only reason Ruli is part of the herd. It's the only reason Gracie's part of the herd. Oh, Peggy's coming in for a scritchy scratch. So we're going long. This is going to be a very long video, I think. And I'm hoping everybody has some questions or thoughts, comments, anything. Oh. On, there, he's trying to draw her now. Does he have it? Oh, Piggy's going over. Lena's staying. That's it. Draw. He's trying to draw. I don't think he was necessarily driven off. I think he left because he's trying to draw. Says, what's all the hubbub about the barrel, guys? I don't see anything interesting. Looks like a barrel. Maybe he's hoping Piggy will come play spin the barrel with him. It's not the case. How interesting is that, eh? Lena just kind of goes along. Geez, now we want to know what's going to happen next, don't we? Not much. But Rue's really got that barrel moved. He's going to try again. A little bit of co-grooming. But Rue is over near Gracie. Let's see what she does, see if we can see anything happen. Okay, so she goes towards him and he tries to draw her. So, in the end, you know, having this dynamic can be fine. Absolutely, 100%. But that's not what this place is. This place has 7 horse, soon to be 9. And it's important they get along as a herd. Because they're domesticated, and that's how it has to work. It has to be to where you could walk into this herd and not have to tolerate intolerance. You can't force it. It's got to let it give time. I know a lot of people are bothered by it. But rest assured, when Rue wants nothing to do with Luke, he leaves or he kicks him. He double barrel kicked him in the last video, and So he knows he can do it. Anyways, I think that's it for now. Hopefully this has been interesting. It's been very interesting for me. We'll see you guys again tomorrow.